Okay, I've been wanting to talk about my gender exploration, introspection of my belief system, self-discovery, etc. So I'm going to go back to about 2020, COVID hits, I'm laid off my boring job, super lucky to receive unemployment, and I have a lot of time at home to really think about my life and specifically like myself, my internal self. By this point, I had a pretty solid grasp of my politics and outward beliefs about the world, but this gave me time to really dive inward. So if I already know that I don't fuck with XYZ aspects of this system that I'm living in, I'm now going to explore my personal ties to other aspects or tropes in American culture and popular media and evaluate if those work for me or not, i.e., the institution of marriage, gender binaries, monogamy, dreams of having a wedding, kids, house, job. Are these things I want in life that are innate to me, or how did those come to be in my mind? So this leads to a lot of realization also about how the brain actually works and how essentially easy it is to manipulate people, especially the neurotypical masses. But that's off topic. So what I discovered is that I'm definitely non-binary. I grew up with a mother that was both parents. I had a sense that when I grow up, I'm not going to be like my father. I'm going to cook, I'm going to clean, I'm going to show up. That initial rejection of the gender roles in my home and other homes or things I saw on TV essentially allowed me to question the entire construct of gender later on. And I've always had more of like a feminine vibe, spirit, energy about me and my natural movements as well. My Big Ten in astrology is 8 feminine, 2 masculine, with a lot of water placements mixed with Aquarius energy. And it felt freeing to just entirely let go of presenting as or performing life as a man. Through my teens and 20s, the only thing I did outside the box really was I had super, super long hair, but everything else about me, my clothes, speech, and so on, all just gave man. And I have to admit that on any given day, I can perform and benefit from white male privilege. So I decided that being non-binary feels right internally, and I came up with my artist name Boy Barely. And this feels like it essentially captures the essence of how I feel while also sounding cool as an artist name and social media handle, in my opinion. Marriage is another thing that I deconstructed during this time. I would never advocate or try to convince others to not pursue it, but to me, it also seems like a desire or life dream that a lot of us develop through American popular media. And structuring family units in this specific way doesn't seem to be the most beneficial for society either. Maybe I'll dive deeper into my perspective on marriage in a separate video. I also did a lot of exploring with myself and my aesthetics during this time. I was practicing makeup constantly, and after about 6 months, I realized it's not really a passion or hobby of mine. I like to use makeup to help achieve certain looks on certain occasions, but it's not really like an everyday thing for me. What I enjoy a lot more is playing with kind of like fashion, different silhouettes, and figuring out what looks good on my body. I like thrifting clothes that may be decades old, but that were crafted for durability and purpose. I've been building a more sustainable, durable wardrobe, less overall clothes, but a lot more intentional with each piece. Another realization I had was about my communication style and kind of like my specific skill set. I'm not really someone who's great at like on the spot talking through and discussing thoughts. I'm much better at processing, taking time to really think and write things out. I can convey my thoughts a lot more eloquently in this format, and I feel that I should have been born during like the letter writing era instead of the social media era. I also realized that I love customization. I love making my own accessories, jewelry, and engaging in a wide variety of art projects outside of just music for fun and also just as like a creative release. I learned a lot more about my specific weaknesses as well and things I'd like to improve about myself. I was able to overcome my abandonment issues or fears. I completely deleted the concept of jealousy in dating and relationships from my hard drive. I feel if you take enough time and rationalize through these things, you can rewire pretty much any thought process. And I think I'll talk a lot more about this in other videos as well. But yeah, I think removing jealousy and making that less of a norm in our society would be beneficial. I'm not just talking about like blind trust or being a doormat or whatever, but the concept of like ownership over other people, their time, emotions, etc. It's usually toxic for all parties involved. I also built up a lot more self-esteem, self-confidence as well during this time, since I was intentionally giving a lot of time to myself and really learning more about me and working to improve myself mentally. And this has been obviously ongoing up until now. I just recently started posting myself publicly, my art, my opinions, and just my whatever I felt like at the time. For the longest time, I thought posting consistently is not really for me, and that I'm not really like a social media person. I'm not like active like that, and other people are also like a lot smarter, more well-read, and can speak about politics or whatever so much better than I can. But I finally just decided, so what? More voices talking about things that matter is better, and when we do need to elevate the message of the smart people, having more of us that have more followers reposting that content is better anyway. I also decided that not everything has to be so meaningful. I can just exist and show whatever thing I made that day or whatever I feel like, and I do want to share myself and connect in a variety of ways. Though I'm not like a super specialist on anything, I'm not supremely talented at any one thing, but I dabble in and I'm okay at a bunch of things, and I think that's also fun. I love being myself. I love that I'm at the point where I want to share that with whoever wants to engage. This video was kind of all over the place, but I think it did set me up for some potential themes that I can dive deeper into. If anyone did make it this far, let me know what you'd be interested in hearing more about, and thanks for listening.